Alrighty, new office, new situation, new living circumstances. It's good, it's going well. Apologies for the background, this will not stay like this. Yep, new office. Probably be showing that off at some point, but I'm setting it up, making sure I can make videos for you guys again. Well, we can get on with this one. Sorry for not uploading for a bit. It's been a hectic 2 weeks. Today, I wanted to do something that I wouldn't normally do, but the Apple event was today. We had a bunch of new tech unveiled. So I wanted to quickly talk about that and recap that. To see what we can look forward to and things that you might consider buying in the future and things that you might get excited about if you care about this stuff. The fall Apple event, usually every year, this is when the iPhone's released or at least announced. So this year we got new Apple Watches, new AirPods, and new phones. So that's pretty much it. First of all, we have the Apple Watches. So the new Apple Watches this year, you have the Series 8, the SE second generation, and we have the Apple Watch Ultra, which insane to say the least, comparing it to basically every other Apple Watch that's ever existed. But the Apple Watch Series 8, again, another sort of incremental upgrade. You have crash detection now, so they have a lot more sensors and a lot more things to really be able to tell if you're in a car accident, and that can alert the authorities if need be, if that happens to you, which is a really cool feature, adding it on top of all these other health features that they have on there to save lives. I mean, they had the thing opening up the event today with people explaining how the Apple Watch has helped them, and in previous years they've talked about it a lot, about how the Apple Watch has saved people's lives, has really helped them to maintain good health. So that's another focus this year as well. So car crash detection, they also have a lot more sensors for health that you can track, cycles and things like that, which is really cool to help people be able to track things more specifically and to really help them detect if they have any potential health issues, whether they should see a doctor, or just to help them get a better insight into how their body works, which is really cool. I really think it's cool to have, the thing on your wrist also helps you health-wise, which I should definitely get a new Apple Watch, because this one, as of today, the event, they don't sell the Series 3 anymore. They're not even updating it, so I should really look into getting an Apple Watch that actually tells me if I'm healthy or not. So there's a few new features with that. Kind of not an exciting update, but an incremental one. So, if you have something like the Series 3 or Series 4 or something, check that out. Maybe if you have the Series 7, probably even the Series 6, probably not something that's insane for you to jump to immediately, and maybe have a look at it first. And if any of the things that I'm talking about, if you want a more in-depth video about all the specs and everything, more than happy to do that. Please let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a more in-depth video of each of these products I'm going to be talking about. So you have the Apple Watch SE as well, that was also talked about today. So just a few incremental updates. Again, it's nothing drastic from the old SE, but you have crash detection, I believe, as well in the new SE, but you still don't have like the blood oxygen, the ECG, all that stuff isn't in the SE as it was last time, but there's a few new upgrades to it. And as well on both models, there's, increased battery life as per usual, and just little tweaks here and there, which is really cool. But again, there's a lot of stuff I'm leaving out today. There are updates. It's not nothing, but if I leave it out, don't think that I've forgotten about it or that I'm just being ignorant to it. I am hoping that this video can be just a summary, less of an in-depth review of these things. So just keep that in mind. So next, the big thing was the Apple Watch Ultra, which is supposed to be just some amazing piece of survival equipment at this point, especially with the videos that they showed off at the event. So this thing gets up to 36 hours of battery life, and it on the new power saving mode that's coming to Apple Watch Series 4 and onwards in the coming months. This thing can get 60 hours, which is 2.5 days, which is pretty good. Like, for an Apple Watch, that's a lot more battery life than any of the other Apple Watches ever have had. So if you're out, you're away from power, you're away from charging ports on a flight, whatever, you're doing a marathon, you can't charge it for a long time, you don't really have to worry about this thing anymore. You can just charge it after you've been out and about doing your trips or whatever. So this thing's pretty insane. They have a new button now, the action button, I believe it is, as well as you have the crown and the side button here. It's now on this side. They also have a better speaker on it for when you're on a call, I guess, or you have to listen to a message on it. And they also have better microphones on it for people to be able to hear you in windy situations or bad weather when you're out in the middle of nowhere. So this thing is also made like with titanium, a much better screen. They've new loops for it and new straps, so that's really cool. That was probably the biggest thing for the Apple Watches that's come out in a while, and I think they've been working on it for a few years. And if you've seen any of the leaks, this is the leaked rugged watch that we've been waiting for a long time. So it's not a surprise that we eventually got it, but it was a good surprise to see it actually coming to fruition today at the event. So that's really cool. It's very much so on the pricier side, but for people who need something like that, it's a good investment for them. So it's something to get excited for. Next up, what we also had was, as I was listening on my first generation AirPods Pro, the AirPods Pro second generation were announced. So these I'm really excited for, to be honest. There's more battery life. I think you get 6 hours with noise cancelling on now and 30 hours with the case, which it was 4.5 before, and with the case, was it somewhere between 21 and 24 hours? I can't actually remember, but you get 30 hours now, so that it is an improvement on battery life. There's more personalized spatial audio as well now. There's the new H2 chip, which is really cool. So every time they have one of these chips, especially with the AirPods, they're always making it easier to use. I remember when they first added the thing to the older AirPods, where you could just open the case and then there's a pop-up on your phone and you immediately connect it. Makes it so much easier. Same with Beats as well. They actually do that with Beats. But so they have the new chip. They have smarter noise cancellation and transparency mode, smarter noise processing. There's supposed to be like 2 times more noise cancellation now with the new ones, which makes me really excited. This is probably the one thing at this event that I'm definitely considering buying. The Apple Watch, I have to replace mine at some point, but this thing got me excited. I know, again, there's a lot of, it was kind of also incremental, but these things are sort of things, for me personally, I like headphones, okay? I'm a sucker for headphones, so that's something you should know about me. But on the case itself as well, so you have, they said that you can use your Apple Watch charger to charge the new AirPods Pro case, and you can also use MagSafe now as well. So that's really cool. I'm definitely going to be using it on my Apple Watch charger. But also, they have a speaker on the actual case itself, right on the bottom, so that when you've lost it, you can actually hear where they are, because when I lose this whole thing, I can't hear the speakers that are on the inside of the headphones. Nobody's going to hear that. So it's nice that you have a speaker that you can actually hear now. So that's a cool thing. They also have a little lanyard loop that you can get a lanyard for, so you can hook it to a bag or to your wrist or whatever, instead of buying a separate case for it. I know a lot of people like to buy a case to protect the actual white, nice looking outside, but yeah, if you don't like that, like I've been rocking mine without a case for a long time now, like if you want a lanyard for it, now you have the option. Now, the other big thing, as again I mentioned, every year people wait for it, is the iPhone. So this year with the iPhone 14, again, I feel like for me it was more of an incremental update. I wasn't really excited about the iPhone 14, but again, better battery life now. They're still using the A15 chip, surprisingly, but it's still a very good chip. So, you don't really need to replace it for that one. Better cameras. Every year they improve the cameras, which is really cool. The biggest camera upgrade comes to the Pro models. We'll get to that in a second. But better low light performance. All the standard iPhone stuff. There's more features with the camera where you can have like an action mode. It's more stabilized for action shots and videos and stuff that if you take videos like that, they're there. So yeah, the iPhone 14 is not really a design change or anything. Wasn't really expecting or wanting a design change. I actually really like the new designs for the new phones. I have the 13, and yeah, I like it. I don't really see a need to change this anytime soon at this point. Some people don't like it, that's fine. But yeah, this year it was, it's another phone. It's an iPhone 14. It's the biggest thing though, the biggest excitement comes to the Pros. So the iPhone 14 Pro has no more notch, but they have like a little cutout, little pill shape on the top. But it's not just like a pill shape cutout for the camera. They call it a dynamic island, which really gives me touch bar vibes from the older MacBook Pros and the current 13-inch MacBook Pro, because you can use it in like different apps. You can use it to access different things, like you can see like what music's playing. You can see a little album art thing. You can see who you're on the phone with. It like is like the black cutout of a pill, and you see the camera there. But like when you're using it, basically it expands over onto the actual screen, and you can use it. Like you can be in a different app and still be like using that to control the other app, see a baseball score or whatever. I think it's a cool concept, to be honest. Like I haven't seen it in use really apart from the event, and I haven't tried it myself, so I can't really say much to it, but it looks like a cool concept to make that, instead of just a hole punch where there's just black on the screen, or like how the notch has been where there's the cutout on the actual display that you can't use or see anything on. Now it's like, oh, it's functional. The blank space is actually functional now. So that's a cool little concept that they've built into it. So that's probably the biggest appearance feature that has really changed. But also a big thing is their main camera on the back of the phone now, 48 megapixels. So that's a pretty good upgrade. I'm pretty sure there's more megapixels than my camera. Now, megapixels really depends if they matter or not on the circumstance. How much are you zooming into the photo? Are you making big prints with the photos that you're taking? That sort of thing. There's a lot of different circumstances that either negate or call for more megapixels. But it's really cool how they put that in the rear of the camera, like the rear camera now. It's cool for more detail, and especially they were showing off on the website, I know, the zoom features on the photos that you take with that 48 megapixel camera. So that's kind of exciting, and me as a photographer, I think it's really cool. There's a lot of other camera upgrades with like the aperture and everything that they've kind of tweaked and adjusted and made better, which is really exciting. I think it's really cool. Again, if you want a more in-depth video on the cameras of the new phones, I'd be happy to make a video about it. But yeah, again, more battery life. I think is 29 hours for the Pro Max and 23 for the regular 14 Pro. So again, standard stuff, better battery every year, and there's always a new feature. But I think it's really cool, especially with the Pros. I think they're pushing, especially for the past couple of years, the Pros as being a more value for what you spend, and there's so many more features and more things that they have that's the more exciting part of it, and that's where the most attention I think is going with every year for the past couple of years now. But that's all the stuff that they really announced. Oh, there was one thing I forgot. If you buy an Apple Watch, if you like Apple Fitness Plus or like the idea of it, you buy an Apple Watch, you get it 3 months for free. So that's a cool thing. If you want to try it out, you're not paying for it, I should probably do that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know. If you guys are thinking about getting any of these things, also in the comments, let me know. What was your favorite product that they unveiled? What was your favorite thing, or the thing that you were most excited to see? I'd be interested to know. But if you want any videos on these things specifically, please also let me know. I'd be happy to put together a video and sort of get a more in-depth look for it. Thank you so much as well for all the support. I feel like it's insane. I already have 300 subscribers. It's really cool to have people subscribe to the channel, watch my videos. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's been great to see the comments and to interact with you guys and to see the growth. It really makes me happy. But guys, please continue to let me know what you want me to make videos on. Please continue to talk. I'll be down there in the comments and replying to as many as I can. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope to see you soon. I hope to get the videos back up and regular, and I'll see you in the next one.